Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. It is Saturday, May 30th, and I had intended on doing this garden tour early this morning, but it's actually about noon because it was raining this morning. And I had also intended on this garden tour looking a lot different. I had intended on it being very neat and tidy and everything having been weeded and just really looking pristine before we leave for vacation. We are actually leaving tomorrow and we'll be gone for about 10 days. And my mother-in-law and father-in-law are helping take care of the farm, and we'll be popping in and out multiple times every day, making sure the feeding's done and all that kind of stuff, which is super helpful so that we're actually able to go on this vacation. And my neighbor is going to be coming over and taking care of my garden by watering it if needed. So part of the reason that I did not get out here first thing this morning is because it was raining and it's very wet now. And so I'm not going to be able to show you just everything, but I thought it would be kind of cool to take a look at what the garden looks like before we leave, because it's also supposed to rain pretty much the entire time that we're gone. So there's a good chance that the grass is knee high by the time we get back, and it's going to be a lot of work for me. But we're going to go, we're going to enjoy the beach, we're going to have a great time as a family, and I'll worry about the work when I get back. And the other elephant in the room, obviously I didn't get my shed painted. I had time, but it wouldn't stop raining. So I'm not going to complain too much about the rain. We really did need it, but it got in the way of getting some things done. So I'm going to flip the camera around. I'm just going to point out a few things. And then when we get back from vacation, we'll take another look. Okay, we're down here by the tomatoes and peppers and okra and zucchini. And the weeds, and well, it's really not a whole lot of weeds, but it's a lot of grass. It's starting to take over, and the yard itself needs mowed again. So it's kind of a mess, but it's really not terrible. I'm hoping all that grass down there is not just knee high by the time we get back. But I'm super excited about my sunflowers. They are about waist high on me now. I'm 5'10", and these will be well over my head before they really are in full bloom. I think these are the mammoth sunflowers. And then I was able to get my tomatoes tied up. This is the Florida weave method. So I've got the first row of that done, and that'll really help support my tomatoes while we are gone. And I'll probably, maybe not immediately when we get back, but it won't be too long and I'll be doing a second layer on these guys. And the peppers are starting to really take good root hold. I don't know if you can see some of them there, but they're starting to look better. Let's head over here and see if we've got, this is my second row of tomatoes. Let's see. Oh yeah, we've got some, this would be a golden zucchini. All of these are golden zucchinis and they're starting to come up, so that's wonderful. And then this way down would be my green or black beauty zucchinis. So that's good. And it looks like my scallop squashes that I didn't think were going to germinate, they are germinating now, so that's wonderful. We'll have a lot of squash and zucchini. And my burgundy okra is germinated. My Clemson spineless okra is germinated. I'll need to thin them out when we get back some, but that's exciting. I will absolutely have a lot of weeding to do. And I'm sorry, I should have put a hat on. The glare from all of the clouds is pretty bright. But I'm gonna have a lot of work to do when I get back. And that's okay. That's part of it. But I'm so thankful that even though we live on a farm, we are able to take some vacations because we really need the break. We really need the break. So let's head on down to the green bean rows and the arch trellis. Okay, these are my contender bush beans. There's over 200 bean plants in these two rows, and they are doing so well. I'm so excited. We're gonna have so many green beans. Let's take a walk up the middle of the trellis here so you can see my pole beans are really taking off. Got a couple of sections of that. Then we come into my noodle beans, and I bet you by the time we get back, these bad boys are going to be reaching for that trellis and grabbing on. Got some squash, butternut squash. I might have to do a little bit of reseeding because there is some areas that didn't germinate. And pickling cucumbers. This is another one of pickling cucumbers. These are my Kajari melons, and look guys, this is so exciting. These are some Market More and Space Master cucumbers. Another Space Master, and we've got some flowers starting. And another thing of pickling cucumbers down here, which actually, I think these will start grabbing on. And of course I've got my sunflowers on either side of the trellis. I did my nails for vacation, so they look a lot better than they usually do. And then marigolds, zinnias, hollyhocks, more sunflowers, big old patch of weeds that I need to weed eat. I had planned on weed eating quite a bit earlier this week, especially between all of my raised beds here. But this week was the week of anything that can go wrong will go wrong. My car spent 10 days in a shop trying to get the air conditioner fixed. They replaced everything, new compressor, new everything. Pressures were supposed to be right, and it's still not blowing cold air. And that was what we were supposed to take on vacation. So now we're driving the massive truck, which is less than ideal, but at least we have it. So we'll be doing that. And the weed eater is broken. So I couldn't string trim, which means all of this is going to be really bad when we get back. But it is what it is. It just doesn't look very good. So I almost got all of the glass picked up before the rain, and it's in that wagon, which is now full of rainwater. So I've got to get all that dumped into our dump pile, but I don't know if I'll get to that today before we leave or not. My cauliflower is looking really good. I've got some red cabbage that's probably not going to do much because it's a little bit too crowded, but I'm leaving it. We've got some Brussels sprouts here, carrots, beets, and radish. And then the last video I did, I told you I didn't have any garlic scapes starting. Well, I also told you that usually by the first couple weeks of June I do. And already, that was just a couple of days ago, 3 or 4 days ago maybe. We've got scapes, and I kind of figured that would happen. I'm not going to do anything about it until we get back because I don't have time. It's about noon, and I've got to help Kyle get some things done. I got to get the house cleaned, I got to get the laundry finished and finish packing. I'm almost done. Get the truck loaded up, and then we leave early in the morning after we do feeding chores. So not a whole lot of time to get stuff processed out here. So those garlic scapes are just going to have to wait until I get back. And then I've got my onion beds, which I really am going to start getting very mad at my dog because he's digging in all of my garden beds, which is really ticking me off, making me want to put a fence around my garden. He has never really done that. He's always left my garden alone, but not this year. More onions, lots of weeds that I need to take care of, which actually a few of these I'll just go ahead and pull because they're difficult to pull out if they get much bigger than this. And the ground is nice and soft right now. Oh, the rose. My rose is just so beautiful. The lantana is really starting to take off. The celosia. I've got another iris from my mom's best friend, and it's blooming. My yarrow is really taking off. And then, of course, we've got all of our cabbages and our broccoli and some more green beans. They're doing okay. And then we've got our trellis of pickling cucumbers and peas. And that's pretty much it for right now anyways. We'll see what this garden looks like when I get back and how much work I've got to do. Anyways, guys, that's gonna wrap it up for this week's garden tour. And I'm gonna go finish getting ready so that we can go on vacation as a family, enjoy the beach, and just enjoy time together. And I will catch you guys in the next video.